So I had to stop skating due to injury and having been diagnosed with osteoporosis. And a lot of you know that, and it took me a while, but I've moved on to other interests. But I've kept in touch with some of the younger skaters that I knew, especially becoming close to them during the pandemic, because their parents and no spectators were allowed in the rinks except for their coaches. So, just I became someone that they could just vent to or tell me about something great or horrible that was happening at school, or, I could remind them of how far they had come since I had met them when they were 7 and they skated to a spoonful of sugar, and now look at them, they were passing XYZ test and how great that was, because no one else who was a grown-up, I was there skating, was giving them feedback aside from their coaches. And I think it became nice for them to have just another somebody that wasn't their parents, just to reflect back how far they had come in my eyes, and from an outsider's perspective, and how great that is and was. And that was a difficult time for all kids, of course, and certainly in their hobbies when they were indoors and parents were not allowed. So I've kept in touch with multiple of these skaters who are now about teenagers and with their families. So everything is completely appropriate in nature in our communication, and I'm in communication with their parents. So as I don't have kids of my own, I don't have the responsibility that's huge of being a parent and actually solving the problems, and fixing the things and calling the right people and all of that. But I am someone who some of these kids have just come to know will just listen and maybe just reflect back that their experience is valid and their feelings are important and they deserve to be heard, and just things like that. Not advice giving, but affirmation and encouragement, and just reflecting back what they will say, that it's important, that they're important, they deserve to be treated well, they deserve to succeed in their own capacity, in their own way, whatever level that may be, and they deserve to be happy. And I just keep on reinforcing this message, and I've remained a part of these kids' lives. And it's been really exciting. I'm not, printing or saying their names here to respect the fact that they're minors. Some are competing internationally. Some have achieved far greater than they ever had hoped. And that may mean, certainly not getting close to that level, but it doesn't matter. All I want for these kids is for them to be happy with what they're doing and feel successful themselves, feel proud of themselves for achieving their own best. And that's all I ever, not ask for, but encourage them to strive for. And I've recently had some coaches nationally and internationally, like Olympic coach level, thank me for playing a part in supporting the youth in our sport. And, I can still consider myself a part of the skating world. I volunteer at things and stuff like that. I don't put on my skates. But I had absolutely no idea that after I left skating, that it would matter to anyone that I was once a skater. And I'm finding that I have a bit more time, as skating is quite a time-intensive activity. Even the things I do are don't require as many hours on the ice and that kind of thing for my own development. So I do have time to listen and be a sounding board and encourage and make homemade cards and send things like that. And That's all these kids seem to be wanting or needing, is just an extra adult who's not related to them, who's telling them that they're awesome, just exactly like they are, and not because of achieving something or winning something or whatever, but for finding something they love. And for some of these kids, it meant, changing environments in which they were training or coaches, and then being their best selves and loving every day they get to participate. And if I can't participate, I'm certainly not living through the kids. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me who medals internationally and who likes to do ice shows only. If these kids are living their best lives and enjoying their teenage years mostly, then I'm so overjoyed for them, and I love to let them know that, and how special they are for being exactly them, and that they never need to try and be something more than they are, or different than they are, or more like somebody else, but that they're fantastic as is. And what a wonderful surprise to me that I can make a difference even though I've retired. Even though I couldn't, keep skating for safety's sake, and missed it just painfully and desperately, especially at first. There was a reason I was in the sport. I met some of the most amazing people, coaches who've changed my life, and young people who changed my life too. And I had no idea that by ending my skating career, my personal skating career, that I could go on to maybe make more of a difference in skating now that I'm not in the rink. It's kind of amazing, and really a blessing to me.